from timcast.com. It's all from timcast.com. Pro-abortion protesters show up at the home of Justice Kavanaugh hours after man arrested for failed assassination attempt. So this story was from yesterday, but this morning, let me tell you guys, you know about what happened last night if you watched the show. We were forced to evacuate the building. There was a credible threat. It sucks. After we came back in, Jeremy Hambley of the Quartering was swatted, and we believe by the same person. There were similarities to the incidents. Although ours was substantially different, there were enough similarities to where we think it was the same person. Upon seeing that, so Jeremy of the Quartering, he's got a big YouTube channel. They apparently pinned him on the ground, cuffed him. They had pointed guns in the face of his wife, and it's particularly brutal. I wake up and I see this story that a man. So first, let's go back in time. People announced their intent to protest at the homes of the Supreme Court justices, which is a federal crime. Merrick Garland says, so what? Jen Psaki encourages it. She says, we certainly encourage more of this. She outright said they encourage it. They are outright saying to commit crimes. And there's no justice. I warned, if people go to these homes and they are not held to account, and being held to account means you get a slap on the wrist, they take you to the department, take a picture of you, and you leave. You go to court and the judge says, don't do it again. And that's the end of it. It's a slap on the wrist. Nothing happens to you, right? But that line is set that we will arrest you because it's nonviolent civil disobedience. I said, if we don't do that, they will escalate to the next point. Well, they jumped the shark. I mean, the next escalation would have been like vandalism. But a dude shows up with zip ties, crowbar, a knife, a Glock. I think it had a Glock 17.
Yeah, it was going to be a bad night.
Yeah. It was going to be a very bad night. And this guy ends up confessing, turns himself in, and the protesters came back. And there's no justice.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
So after everything we go through, and we're not that far away.
Right.
Okay, we are. I don't want to say just how close, but we are relatively close. And there's no justice. There's no law. I can't see people in this country having confidence in the government when they know that not only is one political faction allowed to just blatantly, flagrantly break the law, but that they are encouraged to do so by the White House press secretary. And here we are after an assassination attempt. The only thing I can hope for is that they announced next week there's going to be Monday and Wednesday opinion rulings, which is going to be big because I believe this may be the last chance they have to issue their opinions on Roe and Casey and the gun control legislation out of New York. Hopefully Brett Kavanaugh sees this and he just goes, people should have guns. Constitutional carry nationwide.
Love it.
I certainly hope so. Otherwise, I think what we're looking at is we've been swatted several times. We've had credible threats. We had a threat in Nashville. We were gonna play a show at John Rich's place, and then we actually had a very serious incident occur, and they were like, "We can't do it." There's like kids and there's families, so we were forced to cancel it. This is the state of politics in this country. During the generation that watched Hannity, and Rachel Maddow, the older generation, they're not doing these things. You look at that SPLC poll that we showed up. Well, we pulled up several times now. The older generation overwhelmingly does not favor political assassinations.
Right.
Young women, Republican and Democrat, young men, Republican and Democrat, over 1/3 of all of these support political assassinations, with Democratic men being the highest at 44% of them supporting assassinations. And this is where we are, which says to me, in the next 10 years, it's going to be, if this sentiment is this prominent, I can only imagine in the next 10, 15, and 20 years, it's going to become mainstream and normal to see this kind of violence.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, this is the value of human life issue. It really is. I mean, the fact that these people showed back up to Brett Kavanaugh's house, nobody even, were they not thinking, like, what about their kids? What about their wife? How are they feeling right now? They believe that their husband and that their father was just, the target of an assassination. Like, you don't have any compassion?
Well,
no, they don't.
They want power.
Yeah.
And this is the best opportunity for them in their minds. Why? Brett Kavanaugh is scared. Someone just tried to kidnap and murder him. Now the protest is a threat.
Yeah.
And they don't have to say the words because it's already been made.
Yeah. Well, and I would argue the protest has been a threat the entire time. What is the purpose of protesting outside of the home of someone who never has to run for re-election, who's in a lifetime appointment? You're not telling them that they're going to lose at the ballot box because public opinion is against them.
No.
So what are you trying to show them?
Yeah.
What are you trying to show them by saying, we are a bunch of angry people outside of your house who don't want you to make a particular decision?
Yeah, you're trying to intimidate them. I mean,
Exactly.
imagine being a person like, oh, hey, someone just tried to assassinate that person and his family. Let's go outside of his home and call him a liar. Like, what is wrong with people? To do, it makes absolutely no rational sense at all. And where's the humanity? You know, where's the caring? Where's the consideration
They're not
of
caring.
like, hey, maybe this is not the best time to go scream at him and his family.
They know they're allowed to do it. They have been encouraged to
Right.
break
There's
the
no
law by
consequence.
the current administration. There are zero consequences. And if the way to get their political agenda across and either establish the social order that they want to establish or protect what they already have in place means that you have to intimidate someone or they get killed, they are clearly okay with that. They are clearly completely comfortable with it. And no one's talking about the fact this guy had zip ties. Who even says he was just going after the justice himself?
You're right.
He was
Whole
outside
family.
of his
Whole
family's
family.
house. He could have had a plot to kidnap them.
Right.
And they're out there the next day protesting it again.
No, not the next day. Afterwards.
Literally
The same day.
immediately
The same day.
after it
Hours.
happens.
Hours.
Immediately
Hours
after it
afterwards.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single Democratic political leader needs to be asked whether they disavow this.